Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody had a great weekend. I know I enjoyed mine. It was a wild and crazy weekend, which is why I only had about 6, 7 hours of sleep since Thursday. But that's a story for another day. I'll tell you about it, a little bit more about it in chat. But we got 2 days worth of recaps to really get through in this. So, we're going to jump right into it. But the question I have for you today, and this is very important, because I thought about this all weekend, and then I saw something on Twitter that kind of went right, that just sparked me and say, look, this is the question I want to ask. Are you sitting around waiting for your ship to come in? Because so many people, I ask that because so many people are just sitting around waiting for their ship to come in. They're waiting for their dreams to come find them. I know, because I was one of those people. I would sit there and say, I can't wait. If I'm lucky enough to get this or lucky enough to get that, then, I'm going to do this. When my ship comes in, this is what I'm going to do. When my ship comes in, this is what I'm going to get. And the whole time I'm sitting here not realizing that it's not going to come get me. I've got to go get it. Because sitting around waiting for your ship to come in is not going to happen. You have to go out and get it. You got to get up every day and work hard. Put yourself in the right place. Preparing for the opportunity so that when your ship does, come in, when it does present itself, you're ready. Because 97% of the people who quit end up being employed by the 3% of the people who don't. And those 3%, they didn't wait. They got up every day and went after it. So when that opportunity came, they were ready. And I'm not saying you can't be working full time and do it, because I did it. I worked full time, had a full time family. I was part of both my kids' activities. I was a scoutmaster. I did everything. But I knew that if this was going to happen for me, I had to get up and go after it. It didn't cost me a whole lot of money once I figured out you can't just go buy success. You got to earn it. And it didn't cost a whole lot of money. So I joined this, I joined that, I got the tools that I wanted, and I went to work. And that's what you got to do. So if you're sitting around waiting for your ship to come in, saying that, if I ever get $5,000, or if I win this in the lottery, if I do that, then I'm going to start trading. It's never going to happen. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's never going to happen. Because by the time you get that couple $1,000s in the lottery, you're going to want to do something else with it. Or you're going to be so far behind in something, you're going to have to use it for that. So you got to think about it. Are you sitting around waiting for your ship to come in? Or are you going out every day, going after it? Because I'm going to tell you, it's a sad feeling when you wake up 20 years later and you're still looking at the same boats, the same ships, and the children of the kids, the children of the guys you met 20 years ago are going out on their boats. I tell you, it's a humbling feeling. And it lit a fire under me. So that, I'm here now. And all of you guys have the same chance to do it. I may be, I'm an average Joe, just like everybody else. Just like most of you guys. But just because I'm an average guy doesn't mean I have to expect average results. Doesn't mean I have to give average effort. I put in above average effort. I'm expecting above average results. So you can start average. Everybody can start average. Everybody can start below average. It doesn't matter. But that doesn't mean you have to accept that. And I'm not accepting it. I don't want any of you guys to accept it. Just, you got to go for it. You got to put in what it takes and go get it. All right, so let's take a look at Friday. Friday, we're looking at BIG. We had our patented gap down that we like. Beautiful gap down here. And, obviously I was looking for it to sell off. But it did a little bit. And then it made the big run back up. Which is what we see sometimes. We weren't really gapping into any resistance. So it didn't really have anything to hold it down. And this is what we did on the day trade. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This was my all-day hold. This is a strategy that we're introducing into the swing trading, especially the next class. I did a separate standalone class on this. But this is a good way for you to introduce yourself to swing trading. And essentially, you're finding one of the stocks on our watch list that's made a big move, that's putting in a trend, and you're going to ride that trend all day. And in this case, we had a big gap down. So my goal and my thought was, okay, we got this big gap down. I want to ride this thing all day. So, I got short here pre-market, and I'm like, yeah, I like this. I want to see this thing ride down. So I got short pre-market. It hit my first target on the first candle. So it took out my first target. It never did get, my second target was like 45 something. It never did get there. It bounced, and we kind of recovered all day. But still, on one trade, we picked up 1209.01. This was a profit stop, but, I picked up a good bit here, and I could have taken it all off here and been really rolling in it. But I was expecting a bigger move, and you got to accept these things. You have to program yourself to accept the fact we're not watching this, so we're not going to bottom tick and top tick every stock. Here I got in here. This wasn't my target, so it wasn't going to hit here. And it went all the way back up, went negative for a little bit, but it held the trend. It came down and hit my first target. I'm not even looking at this. I'm not even paying attention to this. I'm day trading. I'm not even thinking about this. This was set. I had my target set. The only thing I had to do was, when the market opened, put my hard stop in, because, that's not going to work pre-market. So once it opened, I put my hard stop in, and before I could do that, it hit my first target. Which is cool. So I thought, hey, I'm definitely going to hit the second one, but it didn't. But we still locked in profit. And not every trade is going to be perfect. It's not going to work perfectly every time. But if you manage it correctly, you're going to make money. And that's a big part of what I want to teach in this small account program that we're doing. It's not a challenge. It's real life. They're real trades. And, my goal is to demonstrate to you how you need to trade these. The class this week is going to be, we're starting the active trading part. So we're going to cover what stocks you need to be looking for and how to find them for your small account. Contrary to popular belief, you don't want to look for these $2 and $3 stocks. That may be your thing, but for me, I don't think it's the right way to go. So, we'll talk about all that. But that was the all-day trade that I had on BIG. It did not work out as well as I had planned. Normally, these things come back to VWAP and sometimes fall through, but this one just didn't do it. So the day trade. Here was a day trade. And this is the big loss. You know, I got in here expecting this to come back, and it never did. Just like we saw on the other chart, it kept grinding up, and I never did get anything. And what happened was I anticipated this. I guess I felt rushed because I knew this was only going to be a half a day, and I was trying to get in and get as much as I could, and just caused me to go in a little bit early, and I ended up missing, getting in before we even broke the 5-minute open range low. We never could break it. The smart cover should have been here, but I didn't. I let it go, thinking that we may fade. This is bullish. We're making higher lows here. So this was just a little stubborn, but I guess, in the back of my mind, I had that big, that big trade on, and I was feeling a little bit racy, and just took too much on this. So that was big on the day trading side. Now, when this was a VWAP fade here, and actually we had VWAP the 9 and the 20 around in the same vicinity. So we tried to push up here to open. We pulled back, and this is typical. This stock tried to push up. It couldn't. Tried to push up again. It couldn't. We made a lower low, and we started to roll over. Started showing weakness. Once it got through this these moving averages, I kind of waited to see if we were going to pull back and test it before we took off. We did. I was able to get in. This was a real good risk-reward entry. This is what I really stress for everybody to do, is to wait for it to pull through, come back, because most of the time it will pull back, 70-80% of the time. And if it rejects or you start to see weakness, you get in and you nail your targets. Here I missed my last cover. It didn't really get to the number. It came down and then it went right back up. And as I saw strength building in, I went ahead and covered it. And you can see that was an ideal cover. And then I was able to reset on this, and we just didn't get the move. Moved down a little bit and then came back up. Ended up stopping out at break even. So Friday was a pretty good day for me. I was pretty happy. On the all-day hold, worked out good. It wasn't perfect, but if imperfect pays $1,000 every day, I'll take it. So only 138.32 in the day trading account, all because of this BIG. And you'll see I had the same issue today. But it wasn't that I was being stubborn. Well, maybe I was. I can't even explain it. There's no explanation. But we did good ending the week. And 1347.33 was the total. 73.48 for the week. Last week. And then for the month, we add in Thursday and Friday of the week before. And we're at 99.66.14. Not bad. Not bad. And today, we had a pretty good day as well. And this day could, again, Friday, I could have had 3 times as much had I done what I was supposed to do. Today, the same way. I could have had 3 times as much. But there were some issues that I had, and I don't think I handled them quite well. But, we'll take it. Anything that we can do to continue to grow and add money to our account, I'm paying myself. I am paying myself, and that's all that matters. But that was, what we ended up this week as. We really want to finish this quarter strong. And I'm going to continue to focus a little bit harder and see what we can pull out here. All right, so today, didn't really have a good watch list from the scanners. Not really a whole lot making any noise. So I just kind of went to Apple because the market was selling, and I felt, I could do pretty good. Well, actually, it was, at the time, it was bouncing. It was showing some strength, and I figured, Apple usually follows the market. We had pulled back to a good level of support. I felt I could get a good trade-off, and I did. I got in here, got covered some here, and again, because I'm long and I'm usually short, I accidentally bought, thinking that I was putting in my cover, my next target to cover some more or to sell some more, and put in a buy order, and it got filled. So I actually added to my position. But when we got up to my target, I went ahead and took, some of that position off. And sure enough, bought again. I don't know what was going on with me. And then all of a sudden, my something was going wrong on the platform. It was saying order pending. But I wouldn't see it on the order screen. It wouldn't show up. So I would close the box and then put in another order, and it would do it. And what was happening, I would get out of the stock, and then my next order, the order I had in, would hit. It would come in like 3 or 4 minutes later. And I'm like, what in the world is going on here? So I had a lot of that going on here. And instead of me stopping like the smart person would do, I kept playing with it and kept playing with it. And before I knew it, I was down. I didn't really look at the P&L or anything until we got over here. And I'm like, oh, we're down. What in the world is going on? And ended up today down $522.94 because I'm playing around with this thing. Like I don't have nothing else better to do. I'm just playing games with it. But I am still in a position on Apple. I'm waiting to see, if later on this evening before 7, we get a nice wash down so I could cover it with some profit. So whatever I make or whatever I lose, I'm going to add that to tomorrow. I'm locking in today with what we have, and then if it's a negative tomorrow, it'll be added to tomorrow. So you guys will know exactly where this trade came from. I'm still holding it here. Now, MU was one that I felt real good on. I was real patient. This one was on our watch too. It was a nice opening range breakout. I just didn't take it because I was messing with Apple. But I wish I had taken this, but it was on our watch list, and it made a nice strong move up. Multi-point move up. And so I just waited. I patiently waited for it to turn. Now, like right here, I could have been baited in getting it, but you got the 9 moving average right here. You got the 20 right here. So I just waited until it started to turn. And, I had announced in chat I was looking for this to get in under the 20. And there are 2 different entry strategies you can have. One, you could get in as it pulls through. But you got to understand there's a strong possibility the next candle is going to open and push back up. And you don't want to be in such a position where you have to stop out. But we got in here right on the break of the 20. This candle confirmed it. And I was trying to get logged back on because I was switching my platform back over from lunch and missed my cover down here. I had an order out the cover down here, or I wanted to put one out, missed it, and then had to cover it all up here. Then when we rejected, I went ahead and got short, covered some here. When I noticed the momentum change, I went ahead and took it off. You can see the momentum was changing. We got up here, and once we got back under the 20 and the 9 again, I got short to hold us the rest of the day down to VWAP, and that's exactly what we got. Just before the close, we got VWAP. So that was a perfect trade. I went from, making a mess of things with Apple, just, I can't even think of a word to describe what that was, to making some solid trades here and managing my position, reading the price action properly, and just making a solid trade. $1,000 trade on this. But because of my Apple fiasco, ended up with 652 in my day trading account, which is not bad. It's not. It could be a heck of a lot better, but not bad. Now, I was getting in Apple for an all-day trade on in my swing account, and because I was day trading this, I got spooked out, and this is why you set it and you just forget about it. It hit my first target. Well, it didn't really hit my first target. I didn't have it sitting out. But I went ahead and took it off here because I missed my first target around 182. And, left the other one on. But as I saw the market, messing up and, just not doing what I wanted it to do, I took it off. It was like, I should have covered half there, but I didn't have my target in, and I knew 183 was another target, and everything was just hectic. And I ended up covering it all here, and really, I shouldn't have done that. I should have left it on like I always do. Just left it on and just let it work. Eventually, we got up to 182.40, which I would have been able to, cover for some more money. But just didn't do it. I let what I was doing, watching the market in my day trading, and knowing that this is in the back of my mind, I just jumped in and took it off. And that's not the plan. The plan should have been getting in, setting my targets, and then letting the trade work. That's what was supposed to be done. But I didn't execute it properly, and only picked up $500 out of this, when this could have easily been $1,500 trade. But did not manage it properly. Watching it up here, missed my target, and took it off. So that was that one. Now, you can see what happened. When I started seeing the SPY do this, it spooked me. And I shouldn't have been doing that. But that's This tells you exactly why I did what I did and didn't really have to. All right, SEG, this is the other trade that you see on my swing trade P&L. This is the one I've been holding forever. Finally starting to break. You know, I almost took it off on this day. Thank God I didn't get bought in. But we had a nice gap down day on Friday. Nice sell off. And today I thought we were selling through the 20. I was feeling pretty good about it. But didn't get to move through today. We'll see if we get it tomorrow. But still thinking, looking for this to tank to around 17 or so before any type merger deal goes through. I'm really thinking that I may be able to get this around 17-ish. But we'll see. Alright, but that was on my Friday and today. I know I went through them pretty quick, but you know, it's kind of the same issues that keep rearing its ugly head that I'm working on. So as long as I feel like I'm progressing and I'm maximizing the potential, then I'm going to be happy with it. So you guys take it easy. Have a great evening, a great night. And I'm going to get some rest here. And I will see you guys first thing tomorrow.